I told you that I was wearing 2 different foundations, 2 different primers, 2 different mascaras. Would you believe me? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally going to test a bunch of the newest products that I just hauled recently. I'm so excited. There are so many new goodies to test out. Get cozy, and let's just talk about some makeup. Don't forget, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to leave me a comment. I would love to chat with you guys. Let's just go ahead and get into today's video. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, I just got out of the shower, but I'm going to go ahead and do my skincare. I have the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. This is the mini 1 ounce size. So there you can see, even though I did double cleanse, there's definitely still leftover residue on my face. For my serum today, I'm going to use the Biossance. This I had in a full size and I loved it. This was offered as a 100-point perk and I picked it up. It is the Biossance Squalene and Copper Peptide Rapid Plumping Serum, and it is like a teal blue color. I love this product. I love how it makes my skin feel. I'm just going to put this all over. That is the Biossance Serum. I do have a pimple right there on the bottom of my nose. It's so annoying. I literally hate getting pimples there, but here we are. The product I'm really excited about is the Merit Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. I want to try this in place of my typical moisturizer, which is the Bobbi Brown. I'm going to take 2 pumps, which is actually quite a bit. I didn't realize it was going to be this much. It feels somewhere between a cream and a gel formula. Now, the reason I'm scared of it has a heavy scent, and I'm already experiencing some breakouts here, so I'm just a little scared. I'm going to take one for the team. It literally smells like Pine Sol. I've seen so many people rave about this product, and not one person has mentioned that. It's pretty strong, and I will say it is definitely making my skin glowy. I knew it would because when I showed you guys in the haul, my hand looked like super duper glass-like. I'm not experiencing any peeling, which is good. We'll let that sink in, and I'm going to move on to a brow product. This is from Ardell, the Brow Glue. This is what the box looks like. Here's the brow glue. Here's the comb that they give you. Here's what the applicator looks like. It's terrifying, to be honest, and the way this looks like real glue, I'm a little scared. I'm just going to leave that be, and I'm going to take the little brush, the comb side, and try to comb through, make sure I don't have too much product. I'm going to take the brush side. It's kind of laying the hairs down, I will say that. Like, it's helping press them in place. And I don't see any residue, that's good. And you all saw I didn't use much product. I don't think it's a bad product. I just still prefer the Rare Beauty at this point, but I'm going to keep trying it out. This is just a first impression. You do get a ton of product in it. You get 10 grams, and in the Rare Beauty, you only get 4.5. That's really cool. I'm going to continue to try it. So far, so good. We'll see if they stay up as we move on with my routine. Alright, I do not have a new brow pencil, so I'm just going to use the NYX Nano Brow in the shade Ash Brown. This was in my haul, so I wanted to go ahead and use it again today. And I'm just going to fill in very lightly with this product because I do have a brow pen that we'll use here in just a little bit. But let me do this really quick. I'll fast forward through this part because it's just brows. Maybe next time I use this brow glue, I'll let it dry a little bit more before I move on to fill in, because I was having a little bit of issues with it, but not terrible. And I think once it dries and I use the brow pen, it'll be okay. I just noticed that it was starting to get a little bit funky. So I'm going to let it dry and then I'll do my brow pen at the end. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. And I take my eye primer all the way up and use it kind of to carve out the bottom of my brow. Once I have it all blended with the brush, I take my Real Technique sponge that's damp, and I just press it in to make sure it's not going to crease. And then I just take a pressed powder and this little brush from Shop Miss A. It doesn't matter what powder you use, just any type of powder. I just currently use this one because I'm trying to use it up. Eyelashes are curled, eye primer is on, and now we're going to move into eyeshadow. And yes, I know my brows are not even yet. I noticed that too, but we'll fix it later. We have the Ofra Boring Palette, which is just a neutral, has a black, deep brown, a warm light brown, a white, and a sparkling gold with pink reflect. Then this one I've had and I've used and I've shown you all a look with it. It's from Too Faced and I love this one. So I saw on QVC that they had the purple. This definitely has some more purple tones to it, but it also just has like a taupey transition, a burgundy, and then I'm not even going to bother with the bright purple, but I might grab this for liner. I'm going to stick to mostly the Too Faced palettes because I just want to do a very simple eye look. Let me just swatch a couple of them for you really quick on my finger. I'm not going to do arm swatches because I just did myself tan. This one is just a beautiful taupey champagne. It's like a taupe with silver reflect, and it's just gorgeous. So you can see it definitely has that taupey base to it, but then when the light hits it, you can see the silver. It's very pretty. That was called You're a Gem. This is called Diamond Fire, and it looks almost white in the pan, but then when you put it on your finger, it's like one of those pearlescent shades. It's very pretty. You can see the blue, the purple, the pink. You can see like the blue and purple reflect. So those are the two shimmers in the new Too Faced palette. And then while I'm doing this, I'll just show you the other ones. This one's Pave All Day from the green. That's what it looks like on my finger right here. And it's got that red base to it with like green and gold reflect. There you see the red base, right? When I turn my hand to the light, you can see the green and the gold reflect. In some lighting, you can even see blue. That's really pretty. This is Precious Gems, and it's also that same pinky red base. The glitter in this one's a little bit more scattered compared to this one. There's really not much of a difference, but they complement each other well. And then the last shimmer I want to show you is called Trinket, and it's probably my favorite. Finger right here. And it's just a soft, champagne-y pink shimmer shade. The looks I've created from that little green Too Faced palette are just beautiful. I've loved it every time I've used it. So I was happy to get the purple. I wanted to show you what came with that purple palette. It was not just the palette. The Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay, which is their mascara primer. And I've been using this and loving it. This is what the wand looks like, and it's actually a pigmented lash primer. It's not white. I love it. It also came with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I keep this in my collection for now because I have a lot of mascaras that I'm using currently, but I was happy to have this again. It's a huge wand, but I do love this product. I've got my BK212, and I'm going to go into the first shade No Limit, which is a light pink on my brush here. And I'm basically just going to put that right here below my brow bone area. And it's a little dark to use as a brow bone highlight shade, so I will use the Ofra for that as well. Now I'm going to go into Pretty Pampered, same brush, and I'm just going to use that as my transition. And it's just a little bit more of a taupey pink shade. I will build this up for you to see. It's a very pretty shade. And it's just perfect for my skin tone to use as a soft transition. I'm going to build that up one more time, Pretty Pampered on the 212, and I'm just going to focus most of it right out here into my crease. I'm going to use the N13 from Nikki LaRose. That is the shade Keepsake from the green palette, blended out. Okay, and now I'm going to use one of the Morphe brushes, the M383. It's very small, and I'm going to use the shade Treasure Chest which is the deepest one in this purple palette. I'm going to keep it very close to the lash line, which is what I love about this brush. I can use this to do a chunky winged liner out here, or I can use it to blend eyeliner and smudge it out. It's a really good multi-purpose brush. Deepening up the outer V, kind of sloppily because it doesn't really matter. Once I get it all on there, I'll blend it, and then I will take a wipe and perfect it. I'm going to switch back to the N13, go back into Treasure Chest a little bit, and just lightly go over and bring it into my crease a little bit up here. Now I'm going to grab my MAC Costa Riche eyeliner. I'm just going to sharpen it real quick. I've been loving this product, and I've been loving my Glossier sharpener. If you can get your hands on that Glossier sharpener, it's really, really good. So this is the Costa Riche Warm Chocolate Brown, and I'm just going to use this to go ahead and tightline. And then I'll take it a little bit above my lashes. Okay, that's good with the eyeliner for now. I'm going to grab the Ofra palette, and I'm going to go into the dark brown from here, and maybe a little bit of the black too. I'll just kind of mix them on my BK Beauty 208 brush. Now I'm going to go back into the purple palette and grab this deep burgundy shade, and I'm going to put it with the 208 brush. I'm going to put it right on top of that black and brown we just used, just to bring back that warmth, because I don't want it to be too black and too bold. I'm going to go back with the Morphe brush again and grab Treasure Chest and do the same thing just right above that eyeliner. Now I'm going back into the green palette to grab Keepsake on the N13. And again, just using this to make sure I didn't lose any warmth. Keeping the warmth in this look really helps the shimmers pop. Alright, grabbing my BK Beauty 212, I'm going back into No Limit, the light pink shade, just to blend right above the transition. And then I'm going to grab the white shade from Ofra, just a smidge of it. I don't want to use too much. And keep it right next to my brow. NYX Glitter Primer. Just tap it all over the lid. We're going to start with You're a Gem, which is that taupey, silvery goodness of a shade. And I'm going to put it right here. So pretty. I'm just kind of scattering that all over the lid, just so there is that silver sparkle underneath. I'm going to grab Trinket from the green palette. I'm going to place that right in the center, and then put it in the inner corner a little bit just to get that really pretty white sparkle. Okay. And now I'm going to go into Diamond Fire, which is that really cool shade that shifts. I'm putting that all over as well. And that will bring a very pretty blue, purple shift to the eye look. I'm going back into the first You're a Gem, which has more of that silver. And I'm just layering it so we don't lose it right there, because that really gives the most reflection, and the other shades are just kind of shifty with the light. So I want to make sure that we have that base reflect. I think it's so pretty. It's so easy. That's it. I'm going to do the other eye and I'll come right back. I'm going to use the Dalba Double Serum All-in-One Multi-Balm really quick on my under eyes. I'm gonna have to take a break, go pick up my kids from school. This feels really good. I know it has like vitamin C and all these other really good things. I do have one more product that I could test really quick. It's from ColourPop. It's called Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Balm. I have 2 different shades. I'm going to open up Vanilla Cake and use it now because my lips are feeling super dry. I'm going to go pick up my kids and then I will come back and finish up. But just wanted to show you this really quick, and that way I could have a little something on my lips when I'm driving. It looks just like the Summer Fridays lip butter balms, and it comes out clear. It smells just like the birthday cake. It's just a beautiful gloss. Love it. I heard really good things about it. As of right now, they were not wrong. We'll see how long it lasts on my lips. I'll be right back. I am back. I went ahead and put a little bit more of the Dalba product under my eyes. All right, we're going to move on to primer, and I usually do this before I do mascara just because I want it to really have time to sink in. We've got several to choose from here. I did get a backup of my Cali Ray So Blown Blurring Collagen Peptide Primer. This is actually one of my favorite primers ever. So this is a repurchase. And then you all saw these. This is the Benefit Professional. This is the Maybelline Poreless Jelly Primer. And then I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur, and the Tula Filter Primer Blurring and Priming Moisturizer. I think I'm going to use 2 different primers. Depending on the shades and everything, once we get to the foundation, I'm possibly going to be wearing 2 different foundations as well. So I'm going to do Maybelline on one side, Benefit on the other. This one's new. This one I know what it's like. This is a really good smoothing primer. We'll see about this one. I want to use the Maybelline specifically because I'm going to use the new Maybelline foundation, but I have another foundation that you all don't even know about yet, and I can't wait. Hopefully it's the right shade. Oh, wow. Okay, so I went to pump some of this out onto my finger, and it literally comes out like a gel snake. Interesting. So if you hear my dog and cat playing, I apologize, but they're just having fun. All right, this feels very similar to the Huda Beauty Easy Blur. It's that gel-like cooling feeling. I'm going to do a little bit more. I feel like it just doesn't do what it says it's going to do, and I have a problem with that. I'm not saying that it's a terrible product, but I'm just saying it doesn't blur. Let me get close for you to see. Maybelline. And then nothing. I don't notice a difference. So let's go ahead and try the Benefit Professional on the other side. I am familiar with this product, so I know that you don't need a lot of it to get a good result. I'm kind of excited to show you all the difference between what a blurring primer should look like versus what that Maybelline looks like. I just used a very small amount. I still have a ton of product left on my finger. My entire cheek on the right side is blurred and just smooth. All right, so Benefit Professional. And then the Maybelline. Which side do you prefer? I just find a big issue with products that say poreless jelly. I don't see it. I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay Mascara Primer. I've been loving this, and I'm curious to see if I use this and then the Haus Labs, if that will help. I haven't tried that, but if you saw my haul video, you know that I'm not a fan of the new Haus Labs mascara. I've tried it several times, and it's never looked great. The first time I used it, they were like sticking straight out. They lost every bit of curl and lift. When I ordered this, I didn't know that this is what I was getting. I thought I was getting 2 mascaras and the eyeshadow palette. I took a little bit of a break, and now that the primers had time to dry a little bit, I'm going to go in with the Haus Labs mascara on this eye. Here's what the wand looks like, just in case you didn't catch my haul. All right, there is 1 coat of the Haus Labs mascara with the Too Faced primer. I am going to try to build it up just a little bit. Okay, if my lashes stay this lifted all day, I will be so shocked. And I promise you it has something to do with that primer, because every time I've worn this, I've had issues. The Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Platinum, I'm just using this sample size that I got from Ulta. I don't want to have to open another full size. So I love the fact that I was able to get a free sample, and this is what the wand looks like. If you've ever tried the Lights Camera Lashes, the wand is the same. I will say I've noticed that this formula is a little bit more pigmented and maybe a little bit more black than the original. Other than that, I don't notice much of a difference. I just really love the formula. And I always have loved the original Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. All right, that is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes on this side. And we'll see what they look like once I recurl at the end of my routine. Let's move on to foundation. We already spoke about the Maybelline. I will use the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation in the shade 120 on this side, because we're going to put it with the Maybelline primer. And then this one is new, and I'm so excited. I hope the shade works for me. I bought the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm. I bought it in the shade 7, I believe. Yeah, light 7. Typically, I run somewhere between 6 and 8 with ColourPop foundations, and this just looked like the best match for me. We'll see. I'm excited to try it. I'm going to do this side first because I primed it first. I do really like the packaging on this one. It's very nice. Has a pump. I'm going to use this huge Tarte buffer brush on this side with this formula, and then with the other formula, I'm going to use the Morphe brush. But I just wanted to show you what the shade 120 looks like. I'm going to take a little bit of it and swatch it here, and we are matching my self-tan. I want to use this Tarte Buffer Foundation brush and see how quickly we can blend some foundation. So the reason I chose 120 is because I'm not using as much self-tan these days, and I felt like this shade would match me regardless. So if I don't have my self-tan on, I think it's going to be light enough, and if not, I can use some mixing pigments. But with my self-tan, it might not be quite as dark, but I can darken it with my bronzer and stuff. So I just wanted to make sure I picked a shade that would match me the best year round. This brush feels amazing. It feels like the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush, but way larger. And so far, I like this. It's like a light medium coverage. Get close so you can still see, of course, all of my pores. And you can still see some like redness peeking through. And try to get it to be medium coverage. I don't even really care if it's full coverage. I want it to perfect my skin as much as possible and wear well. I don't want to have issues throughout the day with my foundation. This is so big. I'm going to be very careful here with my forehead. I don't want to get it near my brows. So that's the only thing with this brush. I feel like it's amazing for people that don't have to do their brows first, or just choose not to do their brows first. Because you could just literally go, and if you are one of those people that can put foundation on your eyes and not worry about it, I try not to do any other product under my eyes other than concealer, because I find it just makes them look too heavy throughout the day. So anyway, I think I was able to get a nice blend. I didn't mess up my brows too bad, but we're going to fix them again anyway. The Morphe M103 foundation brush. I'm going to use this on this side with the ColourPop in shade 7. Let's just kind of swipe it on and feel it. The shade's going to be close. I feel like they're very similar. This one may be a little bit more warm, but we'll see once I blend it out. I don't know if a brush is the best way to blend this out. I might need to use fingers first and warm it up, and then I'll use the brush as well. The shades are very similar. I think the Maybelline may have oxidized a little bit. That's why I bought the shade I did, because I saw the reviews saying that it did that. This side feels so smooth because of that benefit. Yeah, it definitely feels more balmy than the Dior. And listen, the Dior foundation stick is the only foundation stick that I can compare this to. I love that product. Maybe, just maybe, I could film a video comparing the two. It's kind of sitting on top of my skin and not really becoming one with my skin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more on, and I'm going to try to buff it in with my brush and see what we think, because I do want to test it with the brush. I just wanted to feel the product and see what I was working with. I'm just doing a stippling motion. This brush is kind of soft. This foundation may do better with a more dense brush. So let me try a sponge. Why not? I've got the Morphe sponge. I typically press my foundations in with a sponge anyway after I blend with a brush, so I just wanted to test it. I'm just taking the other side of the sponge now and pressing in the Maybelline side. I kind of want to see if I can build up some coverage in certain areas with the Maybelline. There's certain spots I didn't really get to with that brush. So I'm going to take just a little bit more. It's very thin. So it looks like I just used a ton, but it's just because it's so thin. All right, other side of the sponge. Like I feel like it's not wanting to even cover on my chin. Neither one of these are giving a good first impression, but we'll see how they wear. Next up, I'm excited to try this, the Rare Beauty Liquid Contour. I have the shade Solace that I'm going to use, and the shade Serene I'm just going to return as soon as I get a chance to. This is Solace. I want to see if the Rare Beauty blush brush is a good one to blend it with. I'm just going to be crazy and just dot it on. We'll start with one. It's a very good shade for me, but it's more bronze than contour. I will say that. But I kind of knew when I swatched it that it was going to end up being one of those like bronzer kind of shades on me. I'm not mad at it, and that one dot was literally enough to do all of that. And I'm liking how it's blending with this brush, very fluffy stippling brush. I'm going to press it in a little bit right here. And just make sure I didn't go too far down. And this sponge is perfect for this. Alright, that's what the cheeks look like blended out. I'm going to blend it in with my Patrick Ta Nose contour brush. I feel like I should have just used one dot. Oh, I forgot. Oh, God. Well, what I'm going to do is just kind of go like this, and then I'm going to take the leftover, go back up on my cheeks a little bit, build it up back here towards the back. Definitely bronze now. I fixed that problem right quick. I'm going to take the sponge and just pat this in. That is the Rare Beauty contour blended out for the most part. I'm going to put blush and concealer and powder and everything on, but before I finish blending like my nose contour and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and do concealer. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I'm definitely using the Rituel Fille concealer today, but it's a little light, so I have been using it with the Cali Ray Under Eye Brightener in Golden Hour, and I've really been enjoying that. But I kind of want to see, I haven't used this in a while, the Westman Atelier, and what I've been liking is experimenting with this. I like to add a little bit of another concealer, mix it in with this, and see what I think. I know the Cali Ray works, but I don't know about this. And I thought, I haven't used this in a while. It's an expensive concealer, so I'm going to pull it back out. And it's really going to help cancel out the purple under here. I'll use it first, and then I will brighten with the Rituel Fille. So I'm going to take Westman Atelier. I have it in the shade Atelier 6. And I'm really just going to put it right here on both sides. Just a very small amount. I just don't give this enough love, and it was an expensive concealer, so I want to try it again today. So I'm going to blend this out with my finger, tap it, and make sure that I get the purple under my eye concealed. And this shade works okay for me. It's not super brightening, but it has just enough yellow in it to balance out the purple. I could wear it on its own, but it does have like a little yellow hue to it, so I like to add something to brighten. I forgot about this little Morphe sponge. I was going to use it to blend out my concealer. Tap this around and pick up any excess. It's not bad. Alright, this is the Rituel de Fille. This is the shade Spell 121, and I love this concealer. Let's do like 3 dots on both sides. Just a little out here. Maybe a little on the tip of my nose because that Westman Atelier is a little bit too yellow. And those 3 dots will go far. But it's kind of a thicker formula, so I find the finger helps warm it up and spread it a little bit. For it to have such a serum-like finish, it does feel a little thicker than you would imagine. There it is blended out with my finger. Go back in with the sponge here in just a minute and finish blending and set it. But I just do this first, and then I use my blush, my liquid blush, and then I will set it. And doing this routine that I'm about to show you with the concealer and the powder, it's been working really, really well for my under eyes. This is the first time I'm trying it with the Dalba under eye balm, or the 4-in-1 multi balm. I've got the Cali Ray Blurry Blush in the shade Dope. I'm going to use the F1 brush and I'm going to pick some straight from the applicator onto the brush. I'll kind of go like that, see how much I got. And what I like to do is take some and place it down on both sides. Just kind of divvy it out and then blend. It just blends right into my skin. I think for me, what it does is it just softly blurs my pores and my texture on my cheeks and just doesn't reflect any light. This formula has like more of a matte dry down, so the light doesn't reflect off of it as much as other blushes do, because a lot of other blushes, like the Patrick Ta, Rare Beauty, they are more of a radiant finish and the light reflects off and it accentuates all your texture. So this just helps kind of blur it a little bit. I'm going to take some more and build it up. Here you can see once it dries down, it definitely does blur. Alright, so now we're going to set the concealer. I'm going to do the same technique I've been doing recently. Take my little Real Technique sponge and I pat out any creasing and also remove any excess. Now that I have it patted in, I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury powder in the shade 1. I like to take this little puff from Morphe and go ahead and get the powder on it. Okay, so now I'm just taking the Charlotte Tilbury powder and lightly setting under the eye. Now I'm going to take the same little puff and grab a little bit of my Uma Beauty Trip and Smooth powder in the shade Translucent. I just take some on the puff. This is what the powder looks like. I'm going to use this to kind of do a little bit of a bake, but also this helps smooth all the texture under my eyes. There we have one eye set, and like I said, I kind of leave that on for a minute. And for setting the rest of my face, I'm just going to use the Nakia Joy Cosmetics powder. This is the Morphe Triangle Puff, the black one. I'm going to use it to set my face. I wanted to use this powder specifically because I know how well it works for me for oil control. Let's take a close-up look before I do anything else. Everything's looking really good. I was worried that you would be able to see all of my texture, but after we've set it, you see how blurry that blush is. I love it. I do want to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Lock It In Setting Spray. It has peptides and niacinamide, 16-hour all-day wear, transfer-proof, waterproof, lock it in setting spray. So I want to go ahead and use it now, and then I might use the Charlotte Tilbury on top because I did repurchase that too. This is what the bottle looks like. It's really nice, nice packaging. Let's see what the mister's like. Okay. Nice. I don't smell anything. That's good. I just kind of want to lock in those powders really quick. But I wanted to do a quick update on my lashes. I've noticed some falling happening. It's not as bad as it was, so that's good. Now we're going to use the YSL bronzer. I had it in the shade 2 Dune. I'm going to use my F14 from Shop Miss A. Here's what the bronzer looks like. I just wish it was more of a neutral shade. It's a little bit yellow, a little bit off. But it's not looking too bad right now. I forgot to use those other Morphe brush. Oh man. I was really excited to use this brush for contour and I totally forgot about it. This is a really good brush, but anyway, we'll use it again another day. But I still have time to show you the blush brush. Wait till you see this. I love it. I don't really have a new powder blush, so I'm just going to use this one from Too Faced. It's Head in the Clouds. It's a really good neutral pink blush, and I'm going to use the M202 blush brush from Morphe. I love this thing. So, so good. Head in the Clouds on top of the Cali Ray. It's literally just going to bring back the pink to my cheeks just a little bit. See the difference? I'm not using a lot. I'm just lightly tapping to bring back that pink cheek. Let's do the Eye Method Hair Like Eyebrow Pen in dark brown. So we have the Precise tip, which is just the single tip side, and then we have the curved dual side. I cannot wait to try this. We're going to start in the front and just do a couple flicks up, which my brows still look pretty good from the other products, so don't need too much of this. And the shade is dark brown, but I was afraid the other ones would be too warm, so I need to be careful with this, is what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a little dark. But as long as I just do a small amount like that, I really like it. I knew I would. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. The Kylie Cosmetics Natural Blur Powder Foundation in the shade 2N. I'm going to take it on a puff. Here's what the powder looks like. It's a little light, but that's okay. What looks pigmented too. Oh yeah. She is pigmented. Okay. Just want to press this in. And now I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. I want to use the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Sandstorm. It's a very neutral color, and I feel like that will go with whatever lip products. But at first, I need to wipe off this ColourPop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Balm. I've finished a Red Bull, went to pick up my kids. I still have like foundation on top of it, but it looks really good still, and it lasted really well. So that's a win. I've sharpened my lip liner. This shade reminds me of Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury. Maybe a bit warmer. Alright. We do have another lip product to try out. It's from Rare Beauty, and it's called the... Well, I'll put it on screen for you because I threw the box away. I think it's called the Stay Vulnerable lip gloss, maybe? And I have Nearly Petal. The packaging is super pretty. There you can see it's like a peachy pink color. That's what the applicator looks like. It doesn't look like much product is on the wand, but let's see. Okay, it's very sheer and very slippery. Like, it just glides on. Ooh, wow. Okay, that's weird. I don't know how to describe it. Like a slippery gel, but it almost feels like cushiony at the same time. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh yeah. Look at that. It feels nice on the lips, but I don't like the whole butthole lip thing. Let me see if I can fix this. Maybe I just used too much. Let's try this on top. This is the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Balm. This one's in the shade Mango Sorbet. So it's a little bit more pinky toned. We could just try that on top, see what it feels like. Why not? I bought 2 shades because I heard such good things about it. And if it's anything like the Summer Fridays and it's way cheaper, then I'm going to be all about it. Here is the Mango Sorbet color. Let's see what it looks like coming out. It's definitely got a pink tint to it. It smells so good. We'll just see if those play well together. So far, I like the vanilla cake better as far as like the scent and the taste. It feels a lot better with the 2 together, but I'm still getting that weird gathering that I don't like. Well, oh well, it's still pretty. Use the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray really quick. 3 sprays of that. I'm going to use my Lancome Lash Idol mascara on the lower lashes, and we're going to get a good look before I do that at my under eyes. Go into my Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette and grab one of my favorite inner corner shades, which is So Icy. And I have this little brush from Amazon that I love to use for inner corner, and it's just perfect. So I'm going to use this just to really brighten up the inner corner. It's like the perfect finishing touch to this eye look. Let's recurl. I've got my Shiseido, but before I do, let me get close for you to see. See this House Lab side? Already got some lashes falling down. I don't know if you all could see that one. It's literally coming down into my eye. I have a big flake about to fall in my eye right here. I just got it with my tweezers. Saved my life. And then this lash at the end is completely trying to come forward. This one's trying to come forward. This one's trying to come forward. They just don't stay lifted. I don't understand. Let's try to recurl it and see if we can help it. Recurling definitely helped. They are lifted again. But we'll see here in a few hours if they decide to fall again. This was a free gift from Ulta, the Truly Glazed Donut Aftershave Oil. I used this the other day after I shaved my legs, and I loved this product. It makes your skin feel so good and shiny, and I think it'd be even better in the summertime. So I'm so excited to have this, and it smells amazing. It smells so good. And then they also sent me a Benefit Bounce. It's the Bag Gal Bounce. A little sample of this. I can't wait to try this one out. That'll be the next mascara that I try out. But that is all for today's look. I will come back here in a few hours and show you guys how everything's wearing. Okay, it is almost 10 o'clock. I'm getting ready to take off my makeup. I wanted to come back and show you what everything was looking like before I took it off. So this side is the Maybelline Lumi Matte. I wanted to get up close so you could see. Of course, my texture is now peeking through. That's very typical for me at this point, but I just wanted to show you. This is just a puff with nothing on it, just whatever was left from earlier. And I can usually just blot, and that right there will help my makeup last a little bit longer. If I added on like the It Bye Bye Pores powder or any pressed powder, that would give me several more hours. This has been 6.5-ish hours of wear. This is the ColourPop side, and I think it looks pretty similar to me. I think this side was maybe the shade was a little darker, oxidized a little bit, but overall, I think they both wore pretty much the same. This might even be a little smoother. My concealer, I just want you all to really look at this. I mean, really look how smooth my under eyes still are. Isn't that good? I love that concealer. And like I said, so far, every concealer that I've mixed it with has worked well. I would say my favorite so far is mixing it with the Cali Ray Under Eye Brightener. But I'm very impressed. I am just going to take copper on one more walk before bed. I still got lip liner on, but I'm just going to put a little bit of the vanilla cake. Just because my lips are feeling a little dry. I love this product. I would say the House Labs did a lot better with the primer, but it's still just not a favorite. But anyway, that's all. I'm going to probably recreate this look tomorrow for work. I will see you soon.